Morning, everyone. It's been another really fantastic week in school. Lots of exciting things happening, including Year 6 going on a trip to Newhaven Fort, where I know they had a great time. They looked absolutely brilliant, dressed up as evacuees and learning about the Second World War and all that's associated with that. So well done to Year 6. I know you had a great time. And I know that there's lots of other exciting things happening across the school at the moment, as ever, at Swiss Gardens. This morning I want us to think a bit about Black History Month. Black History Month is in October, and during that time we think in particular, and we kind of should do it all of the time, but we think in particular in October about the history of black people and people of colour as well. And I want to talk to you about two different people today. I think most of you, or a lot of you, will have heard of both of them. Unfortunately, I haven't got a photograph of this lady, but this is a lady called Rosa Parks. And I don't know if this is turned back to front to you, but on here it says, "You must never be fearful about what you are doing when it is right." Now, fearful is another kind of word for scared. So what happened? Why is Rosa Parks famous? Why is she someone we talk about? Well, in America, they had something called segregation, which is a long word, which meant if people were going in transport or into school or whatever, black people and white people had to go to different places. So if you were going onto a bus, the front part, which was considered the best part, was reserved for white people. And if you were black, you had to sit at the back. Well, Rosa got on the bus and there was only one seat left, and it was in the white section. And this happened in 1955 in America. And she sat in the white seat. And at the next stop, a white woman got on and she said to Rosa, "You're sitting in my seat." And Rosa refused to move. And she says this kind of tide came over her, this feeling came over her, that she knew she was doing the right thing. Because why should anyone have to sit in a certain part or go to a certain school or get on a different part of a train just based on the colour of their skin? That's ridiculous, isn't it? So Rosa stood up for herself, and she did it in a really kind of quiet, calm manner. She just refused to move. "No, I'm not moving. I'm sitting here. You know, it doesn't matter that this is in the white part. I'm staying here. I'm sitting here." And actually what happened was she ended up being arrested for sitting in the wrong part of the bus. The police came and they arrested her. But the stand that she took and the thing that she did led to many, many different and other things. In America, it led to a whole movement called civil rights, where it was really campaigned for years, and it's still going on, that black people should have absolutely, and black and people of colour should have exactly the same rights as white people. And why shouldn't they? Of course they should. And following Rosa, lots of important people. Martin Luther King is someone you might learn about as well. They really kind of fought a battle. They didn't fight, but they fought a battle to make sure that black people had the same rights of white people. And lots of things have changed. Lots of things have got better. But racism, discrimination against black and people of colour, I'm afraid hasn't gone away completely. I want us to think a little bit about this man. I'll show you his picture. Wonder if anyone knows who he is. I'm sure some of you do. He's a young man called Bukayo Saka, and he plays football for England and for Arsenal. And his parents moved to England from Nigeria, which is a country in Africa. But he was born in England, in London, in a place called Ealing, and he grew up. And he worked really, really hard at school, and he did really well in his GCSEs. He got some fantastic grades. But alongside that, they recognised what a brilliant footballer he was. And he got picked up, signed for Arsenal at quite a young age. And he played for Arsenal. He's very young. I think he was only 17 when he started playing for Arsenal. And he's got into the England team at the age of 20. And I'm sure you know that the Euro Championships happened earlier this year, and England got to the final and unfortunately lost to Italy on penalties. And the three guys who missed a penalty were Bukayo, and his name, by the way, it's got a lovely meaning, Bukayo Saka. The word Bukayo in Nigerian means add to happiness. Isn't that a nice name? Add to happiness. So Bukayo unfortunately missed a penalty. Marcus Rashford, and I'm sure you've all heard of him, he missed a penalty, and Jordan Sancho missed a penalty. And these three guys were black. Now, if you play football or play sports, stuff goes wrong. You know, you're going to miss a penalty every now and then. And I don't think any of us could imagine the pressure of being at Wembley, standing up, trying to take some penalties to win the Euro Championship for England, to win a tournament which England haven't won a major tournament since 1966, which was only 11 years after Rosa Parks on the bus. He missed his penalty. England lost. And actually what happened was that Marcus, Jordan and Bukayo had terrible kind of racist abuse because they missed the penalty. People were saying you missed that penalty because you were black. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. And each and every one of us need to think about that every day. We need to make sure how we judge people, because people should only ever be judged on what they do and the kind of people that they are. They should never be judged on the colour of their skin or what they look like or whether they are in a wheelchair or whether they can't hear as well as other people or whatever it is. We're all different and no one should ever be judged for what they look like. Everyone should be judged on the kind of person they are and whether they do good things. That's how people should be judged. And unfortunately in our world, there are some people, and I hope there's no one at Swiss Gardens like this, but we all need to think about it. There are some people who will judge people just because of their colour of their skin. And that is an awful thing. So during Black History Month, I know you'll be doing other work in your classes with your teachers. I really want you to think about those things, and I really want you to remember that they're really important to all of us, especially you guys, young people growing up. All right, thank you for that today. So we do have house points and we do have some jokes. Right, now I haven't sorted out the house points yet. So air got 1,172, earth got 1,402, water got 1,425, and fire got 1,363. So I think water again are the winners. The best class, the winning class in water was flamingos. In earth was avocets. In air was, let me just have a look, ducklings. And in fire, it was albatross. Can I just say again, well done to the house captains. You are doing a fantastic job. So as ever, we've got some jokes. We've got three, I think, from Amy in Year 6 and one from B in Little Greaves. Okay, now we'll start with one of Amy's, if I can read it. Here we go. I like this joke. It's you have to think about it. What do you call a 100-year-old ant? Antiquated. Now, you might not get that because antiquated is another word for old. Good joke though, Amy. Here's B's joke. Why did the banana go to the doctors? Because it wasn't peeling well. That's a great joke. And then another one from Amy. What is a penguin's favourite food? Any ideas? Macaroni freeze. Fabulous jokes. Now, Liana and, who was it? Liana and someone else, sorry, I know it was Archie. Liana and Archie from Year 6 came up to me yesterday, said, we've got a great idea, Mr. Coughlin. Why don't we put a box in each room in each classroom, and if people have got jokes, they can put it in the box and we can collect them up and bring them to you. And I said, fantastic idea, because then you haven't got to remember to bring them to me, have you? You can just write them down and put them in the box, and I can choose some and read them out. So have a really good Friday. Remember those things we thought about and talked about relating to Black History Month. And yeah, have a super day.